Good morning, adventurers. A very good morning, adventurers. It's the 3rd of December, 11:15 AM, 2 hours before high tide. I've come back down to Heaven Marina on a beautiful day. I've got a 10 mile an hour southerly wind from behind us, which really I can't feel at all. The only downside is there's a lot of crap floating up the river, but it's well out, so it shouldn't really affect me. There's a few bits and pieces closer in, and a lot of rubbish round the side, but I've come down today to see if I can attempt a codling. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm going to have to be careful where I cast though, because of that flotsam there. Sure to get some whiting today, but I'd like to think there'd be the odd codling in the river, because there's been some pretty big seas on this week. So wish me luck and I'll keep you posted. Well, I forgot to mention I'm using squid predominantly as bait, tipped with a bit of mackerel. The problem I'm facing at the minute is all this crap in the river. When I'm casting out, I'm having to cast very exactly, otherwise I end up over a log or a load of weeds. It seems to be coming round in a big kind of eddy into this bay. Fortunately it's staying just about far enough out for us to cast, but it's not making it easy, that's for sure. Got some weed on my line there now. Time for another cast. Well, because of all this flotsam, I just threw this just a quick lob, and I've just had a cracking bite. Whether it's on or not is another thing. No. Good bite though. So that's a sign. It means I don't have to throw it all the way out to where that crap is. Well, it's just about high tide now. Most of that rubbish has gone downstream with the current off the river, although there is still logs and a lot of crap floating about. I've only had one bite that you can call a proper bite, and I missed it, and interestingly that was when I just lobbed it quite close in earlier. I'm casting a lot further out now, but I'm just getting crabbed off at the minute, so I think I might have another lob quite close in just to see if that's where the fish are. Might be. Well, I was just about to shift me bait because of all the flotsam coming down the river, and I started getting a bite. This is again just a gentle lob, not very far out. He's definitely having a good go. One more time, mate, and I'm having ya. There he is. Still there. A lot of weed and rubbish floating down the river there now. Are you on? There's a cormorant. Cormorant swimming along here, waiting to see if he can have me fish. Ooh. Surely that's on. Nah, I think I've missed it. I've missed it. Burger. Good bite as well. Now there's Mr. Cormorant's just turned up. And just as he's turned up, I've had 2 bites and 2 casts. So maybe he knows more than I know. We'll see. I'll let it hang itself on, I think. Well, I think I've got it on, whatever it is. And it's definitely not a crab, because it's fighting. It's probably a fighting whiting. I'd love to think it was something different. Oh, it's a good size. It's a good size. No, get away. Bloody cormorant, come straight for me fish. What a cheek. Nearly got run over. Well, he's long, but he's skinny. Well, there's the cormorant. Swim, quick. Nah, you've missed it, mate. Ha ha! Too slow. Well, that's a good sign. That's 2 bites and 2 casts just after high tide. I don't think it's started to rip yet, although there's quite a current going downstream. But I mean, whiting being a shoal fish, you'd expect if I've had a couple of bites that maybe they're on their way in. He seems to think so anyway, that's for sure. The tide's just turned and I'm starting to get an odd bite, but I think I've missed that one. I've missed it. Can I believe that? The rod was jumping all over the place. Never mind, can't win them all. I think I'm starting to work this river out. When I fish up at British Airways, which is a long way up the river from here, it's very good at low tide, and it's very good here at low tide. But I think the fish must pass through here at low tide, which is when I got them all last week, and go all the way up the river, because up the river it fishes well from low tide right the way up to high tide. This is definitely a low tide mark, not a high tide mark. Still having to watch me line because of all this crap coming down. Well guys, I'm going to have to call it. There's so much crap floating down the river, catching the line, dragging us into snags. You cannot fish through it properly, and there's virtually no bites. And I think if I've got to wait till low water, I'll be waiting another 4 hours. So I'm going to call it a day. At least I didn't blank. I've caught one and missed a couple and had a crab. So I'll see you at the next one, which I think will be at the weekend at British Airways car park, because the tides are perfect for there. So we'll give it a go there on Saturday, I think, at low tide. Good morning, adventurers. It's 10:30 AM on the 11th of December 2025. It's blowing a gale. It's absolutely horrible. I've come down to Pan's Bank because the Tyne is unfishable with the amount of crap floating about, and it's not much different here. I'm going to give it a go for a couple hours. Hopefully the wind won't get in the camera and spoil it. Difficult the way the wind's blowing. It's in my face from left to right, but I'm going to sit in the car and watch out for a bite, see if we can catch something here for a change. I forgot to mention, high tide was about an hour ago. I'm filming this out of the car because the wind's going to destroy the audio. There's a hell of a rip going from left to right. There'll be a lot of water in the river coming down, as well as the tide pulling. Nearly impossible to see bites the way the wind is, because it's pulling a big load of slack line. Can't hold the bottom properly. But I'm sure there'll be some whiting in the river, and there's been a couple of codling caught from this spot in the last few days. But we're going to give it a try for a couple of hours anyway with the ebb tide. I know it fishes better on the flood, but I can't change the tide times, unfortunately. So I'm going to fish it down a couple of more hours and see if I can catch anything apart from a crab and some weed, because I'm expecting a lot of that as well. Well, for all it's so windy, I was definitely just getting a bite there, but I think I've missed it. I bet I've got it. Ooh, you fighter. Oh, has he just come off? I think he's come off. No, he hasn't. He's off. Oh well. One cast, one fish. And he swallowed the hook. Oh, well, that hook came out no problem. So he can go back. There you go, back. Well, isn't weather weird? In the last 2 minutes, literally, it's gone from blowing an absolute hoolie to no wind at all. Just a gentle breeze. Can I believe it? I don't know whether that's something to do with the tide going all the way down or what, but I have had a couple of extra knocks and bites, but it's been difficult to see because of the amount of current that's been run down the river. I'm hoping all that crap up there stays up there, otherwise it's going to play hell with me line. But the tide is still ripping down a little bit. I'm just hoping there's still some fish in the river, for all there's a lot of fresh water. Well, all that crap that was floating about down there has started to encroach on where I'm fishing. So I've moved along a little bit. There's a lot more tide rip here, but at least there's no rubbish in the water at the minute. So we'll just have to give it a try here. Still a hell of a tide rip going, but it'll calm down shortly, I'm sure. Just hopefully there's not too much weed floating along the bottom of the river. But the wind's dropped right off and it's really pleasant now. Perfect. Well, it's still 2 hours before the top of the tide, but all of a sudden the rip's gone, which is good. I can now hold my bait out there a bit further instead of getting dragged into the side all the time. There's still a lot of water coming down the river, mind. There's a lot of runoff from all the rain that we've had in the last few days, which is possibly going to affect the fishing because there's too much fresh water and not enough salt. But at least I can hold bottom out there now, so with any luck, so long as there's not too much weed and leaves and things on the bottom, I might still be in with a chance of a fish while there's still a bit of salt water in. Well chaps, slack tide now, absolutely nothing happening. I think there's too much fresh water in the river. Not a sign of a bite other than a crab, odd crab, bits of weed, a few logs floating about. It looks like that was the curse of the first cast fish. So I'm going to go home now, make some fish cakes, and I'll tag another video at the end of this one, make it worth watching, hopefully, and see you wherever that may be in a few days' time. So bye for now. Good morning, adventurers. It's 9:45 AM on the 13th of December 2025. I've come down to British Airways car park. There's a couple of guys fishing at the other end, which is where I was going to fish, but unfortunately I'm on to fish this end, but that's okay. High tide is in half an hour, so I've got here on slack tide, and I'm hoping there'll be a lot of whiting and flatties in the river. It's not a big tide, so it shouldn't be ripping too much, and I'm looking forward to a few hours flatty bashing. I was just going to say, that's a good start. I've got a fish on, first cast, and it came off halfway in. I'm fishing a very small hook, size 2, because I know there's a lot of flatties around here, and hopefully I'll hook them easier on a size 2 hook. But the wind's quite strong from the southwest, so it's in my face, which isn't so good, but we'll keep trying, see if I can hook the next one. Well, I just thought, just for fun, I'll just drag my bait across the bottom very slowly, and as soon as I did, this little fella grabbed it. Beautifully hooked. There, he's had a bit feed. There you go, little boy. Back you go. They've got to get bigger than that as the day goes on. Second cast. Very good. Well, I'm apologising in advance here, because if I face the camera downstream, I've got the sun in it, and if I face it upstream, I've got the wind blowing in. So it'll either be bad visibility or bad audio. So one way or the other, I'll film whatever I catch, but it's not going to be the best if the wind's blowing in the camera all the time. One really good thing I've noticed today is there's no flotsam floating down the river, no logs or twigs or leaves or anything. So I think all the extra water that was coming down the river must have run itself off by now, which is good, because it means there'll be more salt water in than fresh. So I'm pleased about that. And there's no crabs, which is why I love it here. I've only ever caught one crab from this place. You can leave your bait in for ages and it doesn't get bothered. That bait just hit the bottom and I got a savage bite, although it feels like a whiting. But if I can get 3 fish in 4 casts, I'm not complaining. Certainly fighting well. Well, Is it a whiting or a flatty? Crikey, me is it fighting? Yeah, it's just a whiting. But a nice size one. It's a good size. Unfortunately, he swallowed the hook right down. So he'll be going home for fish cakes. He's a nice size. Thought it was a savage bite. Oh, the camera won't be able to see that. There's a great big salmon just swam by, all diseased on its back. Looked about 20 pounds just under the surface. Can I believe it? Well, I just had a stonking bite. Feels like I got something on. I don't know whether it's a whiting or a flatty. Feels more like a whiting again. Is it? Yeah, a skinny whiting. Such a bite off that. He's only a little one though. And the smaller hooks are paying off. That'll come straight out. Come on, till his tongue. That's it. There you go, bud. And away. Jolly good. Fresh bait, and we'll go again. Well, the tide's just starting to show signs of moving there now. It's about half an hour after high tide. It's dropped about 6 inches, so I think once we get a bit of current going, the fish will come on. I've had about 6 casts, I've had 6 bites. I've had a bite every cast. So there's obviously fish out there, just need something to inspire them to start feeding properly. Another good bite going on. Of course it stopped as soon as I picked the rod up. One more knot and I'm having ya. Has he hung himself on? Is it a flatty? We'll see. Nope, he's hung himself on. And it's a whiting, I can tell by the way it's fighting. It's a fighting whiting. Whoa, whoa, boy is he fighting. Not very big though. He's on a right old scrap. And he's swallowed the hook. As they do. Oh, he's another one for fish cakes, but he's big enough. Well, the tide's really starting to pull there now. As soon as it is, got something fighting hard. I know what it'll be like. It'll be another whiting, I would imagine. Is it? Yeah, another small whiting. As soon as the bait hit the bottom. No wonder they didn't bite very hard. Nicely hooked, just hooked. That's it. Tiny. And away. Lovely. Well, the weather forecast did say it would be sunny and the wind would get up. Oh, there's me rod having a good bounce there. And it is starting to get up, so I'm hiding behind the car to film here. Hopefully the wind doesn't destroy the audio, which I think it might, because when I'm pulling the fish in, I'm facing the wind, so sorry about that. Well, just as I switched the camera off, the rod started bouncing all over the place, and it feels like another fighting whiting. For sure, that's what it will be. Can't see it. Yeah, another whiting. At least the smaller ones are getting lip hooked, which is good. That hook will come straight out, no problem. Leave go me. Leave go me mackerel, you bugger. There you go. Away he goes, smashing. That's 6. One thing I have noticed here, if you drag your lead across the bottom, further out it feels very stony. Not snaggy, but stony. And I know the mud flats go quite a long way out here, and you would think that's where the flounders would be. So I've just tried a gentle lob about 30 yards out instead of 60 or 70 yards out to see if there's a chance of a flounder closer in, because it would make sense that the flounders would be on the mud and not the stones. Give that a try for half an hour and see if I can get any bites. Very strange. I was getting a bite to cast when I got here for the first hour, and for the last hour it's gone right off. I've tried close in on the mud flats, but I've had no bites there, so I'm casting far out again. I've got some really stinky squid, so I've put some stinky squid on. They'll be able to smell that from Tyne mouth. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I thought once the tide started to ebb the way it is, that I'd get some bites, but it's not happening at the minute. Well, for the life of me, I cannot work this river out at all. I've been down here and fished it on the flood tide from low tide up and done okay, and then at slack water, high tide, not had a touch for 2 hours. Today I've come at slack tide, had a bite of chuck when the tide hasn't been running, and as soon as it has started running, I've never had a bite. I've had one bite in 3 hours, and yet I was getting a bite of chuck when I came. It's really weird. I cannot work it out at all. On saying that, I've just had a think I might have just had a bite. Oh yes, a good bite. I'll keep the camera on. And it's funny, I've had a bite for 3 hours there until I put the camera on. Go on, get it down here. Try to keep the window thick. Definitely a white bite, I would say. I'll let it develop. Whatever it was, I've got it. I suspect it's a little whiting, like. Yeah, definitely a whiting by the way it's fighting. An exciting whiting. Where are you? There you go. Well, at least it's better than nothing, I suppose. Hooked. Stay still. Beautifully hooked. You've got me bit. Whoa. Come here. Don't bite me finger, you little bugger. There you go. Away. Yay! 1 in 3 hours. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mr. Crow. It's getting really windy out there now, which is exactly what the forecast said it would. And it's looking like rain on the way down. I fished the ebb tide down 4 hours, which is what I intended to do. I'm getting blinded by the sun. Very few bites now. So that's me done. So that's the end of a trio of sessions on this video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. If you haven't, well, sorry. Fishing's fishing, not catching. See you next time. Bye for now.